Hello and welcome to Kalamazoo and You. This is a program where we have conversations with City of Kalamazoo staff on important issues, events, and topics. I'm Mike Smith. I'm the Communication Manager for the City of Kalamazoo and your host. We're here in Bronson Park to talk about sustainability in Kalamazoo. Joining us in Bronson Park, Chris Broadbent, you are the Solid Waste Coordinator for the City of Kalamazoo. Justin Gish, you are the Sustainability Planner for the City of Kalamazoo, so welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
We have Earth Day coming up and Arbor Day as well. What do those observances mean for the City of Kalamazoo as far as those events are concerned as well?
Want to take that one?
Earth Day is a great opportunity to get out into the community and celebrate the natural environment, and as a part of that, we also have a lot of neighborhood-based cleanup events going on where neighbors and community members are organizing to clean up their space, whether it's trash, recycling, pickup events throughout the City of Kalamazoo that we're supporting and looking forward to.
And for sustainability, what does that mean?
It's kind of like Chris was saying there, Mike, so those two holidays, Arbor Day and Earth Day is kind of the start of our busy season. So everyone kind of comes out of the winter there. Everyone's, the weather's getting nicer. Folks want to get out in their community and, pick up trash and plant things. So really we kind of see that as the start of our busy season. So Chris and I will be working all through the summer, trying to find ways to, reduce waste, increase biodiversity, encourage non-motorized transportation, things like that. So that's kind of what we focus on for the sustainability season, I guess, if we can call it that.
Now, the City of Kalamazoo has a sustainability plan. So can both of you talk about the plan, what it means, and what it means for residents in Kalamazoo?
I'll take this one first, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so as a sustainability planner, I oversee the sustainability plan. And in there, it's a fairly long document. It's a couple hundred pages, but basically they want to see the City of Kalamazoo, the municipal government, kind of operate in a more eco-friendly manner. You can pick your buzzword there, but really we're focused on increasing energy efficiency in city buildings, using renewable energy, increasing the health of the urban ecosystem, so encouraging native plantings, things like that, encouraging green transportation, and then there's Chris's piece, which he can talk about a little bit more.
Which is about reducing waste, reducing the amount of materials that we send to the landfill from the City of Kalamazoo. So we offer recycle and compost programs, curbside or drop-off or special event depending on the material type. And one of the key performance indicators from the Community Sustainability Plan is about the metrics of moving or managing materials responsibly.
Yep, so it's a big, broad document, a lot of pieces in there, but Chris and I are happy to work on all of them.
And it gives us an opportunity to do this great work and focus on sustainability. And that plan was adopted in 2022 by the City Commission in June. So it's a great document that provides a foundation and a baseline for our teams to work off of.
So what are some of the successes in sustainability that the city has enacted over the years?
Yep, so one of the big things I look forward to, because it hasn't started yet, but the city has enrolled in it. So starting in 2028, 90% of the city's electricity is going to come from renewable sources. That's going to drop our emissions, our greenhouse gas footprint by about 70%. So we're going to get that much closer to net zero. I think Chris's programs have been very successful. I'll let Chris talk about the composting program and the recycling.
Yeah, one of the great things about the City of Kalamazoo is every resident type, residential dwelling can have access to the recycle program. By that I mean single stream, commingle, one container for all your commonly found recyclables. Think about your boxes, bottles, cans, cups, and food containers going into the recycle system. All of that material we can divert from the landfill, and every resident in the City of Kalamazoo has access to that program. Right now we need everyone to opt in based on our contract and our service provisions. So if you don't have a cart at home, you can request one by calling 311 or going online and filling out the request form. If you need recycling service at your multi-unit, talk to your property manager or property owner about getting connected with us, and we can start and provide that service, that access point, so that everybody in our community has access to recycling.
Now you have something you can show us as well, is that correct?
Yeah, I did bring some props. Great segue. Thanks, Mike. We've been passing out these tote bags to residents across the city. These are designed to help you collect your materials inside your home and then take it out to your cart or dumpster and tip your materials into the cart or dumpster. One of our biggest challenges is bagged material in the recycling system. So residents will collect all their materials in their home inside a trash bag or plastic bag, totally understandable, and then take that whole bag and drop it into the cart. I would much rather prefer the residents to empty that bag into the container so that all the recyclable materials are loose inside the cart and dumpster.
And they need to be loose because when these materials go to a MRF, material recovery facility, they're sorted by people, right? So there's these conveyor belts, and all the material gets dumped on the conveyor belt, and people are moving plastic and glass around. So if it's in a bag, it slows down the system. The folks who open the bag aren't sure what's in it, so tends that those items that you might bag up and put in your bin will probably end up in the landfill. So that's an important.
Yeah, the best way to make sure the materials get recycled is to put them loose into your recycle container, your cart at your single family home or single family household, and the dumpster that you may have at your multi-unit or multi-family building.
All right, sorry, Mike, you just turned us loose. So we got to talk a little bit about contamination. So Chris and I get questions all the time about contamination. How much peanut butter is too much peanut butter in a peanut butter jar? You know, can I put this dirty glass in the container? Can you, Chris?
Yes, you can put dirty stuff into the recycle system. It's best if it's empty, clean, and dry. There are two metrics that I would encourage people to consider. If it's a liquid container, like oat milk or oat beverage, and you tip that container on top of your head, if less than a teaspoon of liquid comes out, that's ideal. For a food container, less than 25% of the container surface area could be covered in food to still be able to be recycled. So think about, you know, for your peanut butter jar or your salsa containers, maybe get a spatula and dig that out as best you can. I at home would give things a rinse and then dry them and then put them into the recycle. Empty, clean, and dry.
You don't need to remove labels. You know, all that kind of gets taken care of through the process. I've got a friend who would run his recyclables through the dishwasher. Life cycle analysis is probably wasting too much energy, so if you can just get it clean, leave the label on, put it unbagged in the bin, you're good to go.
I mean, unless you have extra space in your dishwasher. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
we can get into it.
It's so complicated.
We could get into it.
The city has done very well over the last year or so in terms of the number or the tons of recycling that have occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, we've been tracking. Last year, 2025, we recycled over 2,600 tons of material, curbside or at multi-units and dumpsters across the city of Kalamazoo, which is on target for our key performance indicator for 2032, the 10-year window with the community sustainability plan. So we're tracking and trending in the right direction. The more carts that we can site in the city of Kalamazoo, the more value we'll continue to get from our recycle program. Right now in our contract, we're in the top tier of cart service. So every cart we site between now and the end of that contract is added value to the city for that program. So if you don't have a cart at home, you can opt in and get one at no extra cost.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we talk a lot about recycling. There's other types of recycling, or at least, you know, kind of what we in the sustainability business call the green circular economy. You know, last year the city rolled out its pilot composting program. I think it's kind of moved beyond the pilot phase almost, and folks are really enjoying that. So right now we have municipal compost bins in neighborhoods in the city, and then a citywide drop-off at 322 East Stockbridge. So there you can bring any of your compostable materials, anything that lived essentially can go in that bin. Yeah. Meats, you know, the containers, the BPI certified containers, the compostable containers can go in that bin. We're encouraging folks to compost at home as well, and their tumblers or that, but if there's stuff that isn't going to go in those bins, so you generally don't want to put a lot of meat in your home compost bin, that can all go into these containers that the city provides for its residents. Yeah,
I would say one thing that's really successful about the city of Kalamazoo is we have a robust history of curbside pickups for organic material. Think about your yard waste and your leaves. We have programs that run April through October for yard waste pickup. We have a leaf collection program that runs November, December, March and April, depending on the weather, because the whole program is weather permitting. And so these programs exist. It allowed us to add food to that recyclable material, that compostable material. We've learned Michigan's landfills are 20% food. and that material can be recycled, turned into finished compost, soil amendment. We have a contractor that provides that service, as other communities do around Michigan. So we're not alone in piloting with this. And in fact, we have a great relationship going on with several companies that are generating this material. So we're excited about the future and the potential for it. Think about recycling any food you encounter but don't consume. Pizza boxes, BPI, which stands for Biodegradable Products Institute. That's a certification that a to-go-ware or single-use container can receive. That means 1,000 out of 1,000 times that material will break down in a compost pile. So it's a certification that's done here locally as well as nationally and internationally. So look for those BPI certified containers to go into the food scrap recycle program, and find your nearest food scrap recycling cart by visiting our webpage.
How do you guys think Kalamazoo compares to other cities of similar size in terms of our recycling and sustainability initiatives?
I think we have a large advantage with the solid waste millage being in place. So that millage is 1.8% of the property tax roll, funding our solid waste programs, which include the recycling, the curbside pickup. It includes the bulk trash program, our only landfill program in that millage, as well as the leaf pickups, the yard waste program that I mentioned, and our food scrap recycling, among many others that are supported by the solid waste millage. That gives us a bucket, a fund to be able to draw from. And prior to my time, the city decided that we were going to invest in recycling. So our 2017 contract that we're still running through for a 10-year agreement is coming up towards its end in 2027. And we're really excited about the progress that we've been able to make through that millage. I think that gives us a large advantage. So I want to say thank you to having that in place. And it really makes it simple for us to be able to provide excellent service across the city.
And of course, a lot more work needs to be done as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for stealing my thunder. I was trying to get in here, Chris. So the Michigan Municipal League hosts what's called the My Green Communities Challenge, right? So the City of Kalamazoo has enrolled in that challenge, and we've reached gold for the last 2 years. Reaching for platinum. Right now, only 2 cities are platinum. That's Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor, which you would kind of expect. But I think back to your previous question, Mike, Kalamazoo is a leader in Southwest Michigan for sure. And it's a credit to the community members. I mean, they're really driving us and driving this plan. They got the plan across the finish line. They created our positions, and now Chris and I are working hard to implement that plan. So I'd say Kalamazoo's the leader there.
At the end of the day, what do you want the community to know about the importance of sustainability in Kalamazoo and throughout the community as well?
Yeah, everyone wants to make this a political issue. I just see it as it's a human issue, right? You wouldn't want to necessarily live in an incredibly dirty house. I don't know why you'd want to live in an incredibly dirty world. So you got to kind of think about how you interact with the world, and kind of what you want to see the world be like for the future generations. Going back to the composting thing, when organic material goes into a landfill, it degrades in an anaerobic environment, and that releases methane. And methane is about, it's 28 times more effective at trapping heat than carbon dioxide, so it's a very potent greenhouse gas. So by encouraging composting, we're getting material out of the landfills, kind of lessen our carbon footprint, and kind of slow the effects of climate change. Other things that we could do, I don't know if it's us, maybe it's you, and I hate to kind of put it on people, but, Kalamazoo's putting in more bike lanes. I think the more folks biking, the more folks using the compost system, the more folks using the recycling system, the more folks reaching out to Chris and I, and we've got a great response this year already of folks wanting to do trash cleanups. So we have community members reaching out to Chris and I, and as a city, what can we provide? We can provide dumpsters, we can provide materials, buckets, grabbers for you to pick up the stuff. So really, I just like to see more people get involved, ask what they can do for their city. Kind of butcher the John F. Kennedy quote there, but Chris and I are happy to help anyone be more sustainable.
And final comments from you too, Chris?
Yeah, when I think about sustainability, I think about maximizing the value for the resources, the inputs that we all are using to generate food and food containers. These materials are being taken from the earth or being generated by the hard work and labor of many people, some in our community, some out of our community, and there's a lot of resources and energy going into the creation of these materials. Let's find a way to give them a second purpose, a second life, besides just generating methane in the landfills, which also are not in our community, fortunately. So I think about maximizing the value of those materials. Let's get all the cardboard boxes, all of our bottles, cans, cups into the recycle stream so that they can be turned into that next product, their new next thing. Let's get the food scraps that we're not going to consume recycled via composting so it can become food for more plants. And think about how we can take what we've already got from the earth, celebrate that, and then find a way to spin that forward into more opportunities. That, I think, is what sustainability and recycling and some of these other ventures are about, finding a way to maximize our value. Sustainability is good business. It's good for the bottom line for all companies, and I appreciate that our city is looking for opportunities to be more sustainable. I agree, we can always get better. Myself and our team members can always improve, so looking forward to that.
Great information from both of you, and thank you very much, Chris and Justin, for this important information. That ends our segment, and thank you, and we'll see you next time.